Anytime you have this many big menhaden around, you're bound to find predators. In the case of 2011's abundance of bunker in a certain Buzzards Bay harbor, the predators turned out to be bluefish, big bluefish. The best part, you only had to run a few hundred feet from the ramp to find the action.
Matt, come here and look at this. Oh, I saw a fish, but...
When the menhaden, also known as pogies or bunker, are on the surface, they're easy to spot and catch for both commercial netters and sport fishermen. If you know how to throw a cast net and have a big enough live well, you can gather enough bunker for a day's fishing in short order. However, when the blues are in close and hungry, it's just as easy to snag some.
Actually, no, get a picture of him doing this. There is a freshly snagged pogie. You can see how big they are, and that means big bass and big bluefish.
Snagging sounds easy, but there is some skill involved. First, you need a fairly stout rod, and you have to remember to crank down the reel drag. Sharp hooks also help. Most important, you need to make accurate casts, sending the weighted hook past the school. Let the hook sink deep enough to reach the level of the bait, then rip it through the school with short, sharp jerks of the rod.
I guess so. Take us around if you want. Got one? Not that pretty. Get another one. Give me another one. All right.
You can collect your baits using a weighted snag hook clipped to a wire leader, or make up your own snagging rig.
Another way to snag menhaden if you don't have a snag hook is to attach a plain treble hook, regular treble hook, clip it to the end of a 18-inch 40-pound test wire leader, and then take a rubber core sinker and twist it onto the leader about 6 inches above the hook, and you can toss that into the school and use that to snag the bunker as well.
Once I've snagged a bait, I like to re-rig it on a lighter outfit armed with 30-pound test wire leader and a single 6/0 to 7/0 octopus or live bait hook. Some anglers prefer circle hooks as they feel they do a better job of hooking fish in the corner of its mouth, making them easier to release.
Yeah, turn them back the other way.
I like to hook the bait just ahead of or behind the dorsal fin. The latter position works best for blues, as the choppers tend to chomp off the tail of the bait while avoiding the head.
I'm gonna let him go.
Now lob the bait back out near the bait school and let it swim around with its schoolmates. If the blues are hungry, they'll normally zero in on the injured bait in short order. Keep the reel in free spool or with the clicker on so the blue can grab it without feeling much resistance and eat the bait.
I think someone's chasing yours. Get that little slack in it.
When line begins flowing quickly off the reel, indicating the bluefish has eaten the bait, engage the drag and set the hook, either by lifting the rod sharply upwards or, in the case of circle hooks, pointing the rod tip at the fish and simply reeling until you feel resistance.
He's eating it.
Much more dramatic.
I'm in. We're gonna need the net. This is clear. Right here in the boat.
That's an alligator.
Yeah. Take this guy anything. Oh, it doesn't even fit in the net.
Maybe you get a real net one day.
Well,
That is a big bluefish.
okay. Why I call him live. Good work, Andy.
Good job, Andy. Well, we got a triple header of big bluefish here in Mattapoisett Harbor on pogies, and it's chaos. Whoa, he's a leaper.
That's a big splash. That's inside of them, though. Whoa, tarpon!
I got that one, okay. He tarponed.
Oh, that's a nice size. Let me tell you a little bit big. Hey, no kissing, no kissing allowed.
He wanted to come bite you. Another way to fish menhaden around the menhaden schools is to take one of the baits and chunk them up into sections like this, about maybe 2 inches wide. And then just simply take your hook, a single hook, and thread it through just the tip of the chunk, so it leaves a lot of that hook exposed. And you can just let these chunks drift behind the boat as you're fishing the live baits. And often you'll pick up a big bass that's lurking around underneath the schools, waiting to feed on pieces of menhaden that the bluefish above them are tearing to bits.
Say what you will about bluefish being inferior to striped bass, but when these fish are tearing into menhaden, I think it's one of the most exciting fisheries in the Northeast.
Well, he's wrapped around a winter stick, but we finally landed him. Nice little bluefish. Keep me tied over till next spring. Okay. Hey, can you grab that? Yeah.